I never knew it could be like this. Nobody ever kissed me the way you do.
Nobody?
No.
With Valentine's Day upon us, it got me wondering, what are we really supposed to be celebrating anyway? Is it the romantic kisses on the beach that we see in the movies? Is it the dramatic feelings of butterflies that we've had in our relationships past? Or is it the sweet nothings we get one day out of the year? Honestly, I think we all know the commercialism of Valentine's Day. And sadly, because of this, we find it all too easy just to skip right over it as just a created, commercialized event. But before we write off this day completely, let's take a look back at the beginning and see what we're really supposed to be celebrating, or what we could be celebrating. In the first and second chapter of Genesis, we have the account of the start of love between human beings. Genesis 1 says that on the sixth day of creation, God made human beings in His likeness. He gave them the purpose of exercising dominion over the face of the earth. He blessed them with the ability to be fruitful and multiply. And then, at the end of this creation, it wasn't until this relationship had been formed that He said everything was very good. The blessing to be fruitful in relationship with those we love is the climax of creation. But if this is true, then why is it that when we're in a relationship with people we love, we can also feel the loneliest in life? Genesis 3 plays out the drama that explains why we struggle like this. Verse 6, it says that when the woman saw that the fruit of the tree was good for food and pleasing to the eye and also desirable for gaining wisdom, she took some of it and ate it. She also gave it to her husband who was there with her, and he ate it. Then the eyes of both of them were opened. They realized that they were naked. So they sewed fig leaves together and made coverings for themselves. Well, this is the first instance of the hiding that is so common in our relationships today. Adam and Eve covered themselves not because they were ashamed of their physical bodies, but because of the vulnerability they now felt in relationship with each other. You see, before they ate of the forbidden fruit, Adam and Eve didn't argue. They didn't quarrel. They didn't need to defend themselves or have to stand up for their own rights in their relationships. And why was this? Well, it was because before this point, they didn't even have to. The love they had for each other was pure. It was fully trusting, fully trustworthy. But now, when they looked at each other, they felt vulnerable to what the other person could do to them. Whereas before, Eve could look at Adam and know he would care for her. Now she wondered whether he would choose himself instead. Adam lost all confidence in Eve's desire to be his companion. They feared what the other person could do to them. And they felt this vulnerability so deeply that the best course of action they could come up with was to hide behind whatever they could. What was once absolute companionship and trust was replaced with hiding, and the result was a feeling of loneliness that we still struggle with today. But notice what God did for them in their loneliness. Genesis says that the Lord God made garments of skin for Adam and his wife, and then He clothed them. See, God, realizing their state of vulnerability, didn't just leave them to hide. Instead, He made a covering for them that would allow them to continue to be in that relationship that He called very good. The significance of this is that God was foreshadowing what He would ultimately provide as a way for all people to be in relationship with each other, without having to hide from their vulnerabilities and weaknesses. And through Christ, God provided a way for us to have a relationship with Him again, one in which we would never have to feel ashamed or vulnerable. And this is what the Bible means when it talks about believers being clothed in the righteousness of Christ. While we're still fallen people, we're able to participate in the climax of creation, intimate relationships with God and with others. But we can only do this as much as we feel the covering of Christ over our own fallenness, over our own vulnerabilities, and over our own weaknesses. I've heard it said that we can only love as much as we've been loved. I think that's a profound statement of truth. It's a truth that reminds us the only love that we have to give to others is out of the overflow of the love that God has first given to us. Now that's definitely something worth celebrating. not only on February 14th, but any time we think about it. So I thought about it, and God asked me to remind you.